Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's me, Niall, here giving a quick preview for this weekend's European Super Lightweight title fight between the unbeaten Pierce Big Bang O'Leary and former British champion Liam Dillon from Portman Road, of course, the home stadium of Ipswich Town Football Club, on the undercard of the huge heavyweight clash between Fabio Wardley, the hometown hero, and Justice Uni of Australia. So, yeah, this is a very, very interesting clash on the undercard. European EBU title on the line, and Piers O'Leary's unbeaten record on the line against Liam Dillon. Yeah, it is a decent test for O'Leary. It's a former British champion in Liam Dillon, only a couple of losses on his record to Reece Bellotti and Ryan Garner. No shame in that. I just it's a little bit underwhelming to be honest. No discredit to Liam Dillon, but when you hear, well, first of all, as a biased Irishman, that it was due to be a homecoming fight for Pierce O'Leary next up in in Dublin, but hopefully we will get that soon. But I think O'Leary is above the level of a Liam Dillon now, and of course there was the talk that Sean McComb had signed a contract to fight Pierce O'Leary. Apparently it was all signed, sealed, delivered until the next morning when all of a sudden it was off again for whatever reason. O'Leary and McComb would have been an outstanding all-Irish fight. Again, as a bit of a biased Irishman, but there could be worse opponents than Liam Dillon. There really could. So yeah, O'Leary has the chance to now win the European title at super lightweight, and Pierce O'Leary for me is a tremendous fighter, massively underrated in my opinion. Unbeaten, such a sharp, solid technical fighter, really technically clever and crisp. Footwork outstanding. Incredible lateral movement. His lateral movement to Pierce O'Leary is outstanding. He's got fast hands, sharp combination puncher, and of course, big power. Big power, particularly one shot power that we've seen in the past, over the past few fights. I think he really is close enough to the full package. He's all round so solid. Couple of good wins on his record, of course, against Kane Gardner and Havanes Martrosian as well, which was a very good win. Martrosian unbeaten at the time. Yeah, and I think he's come through the Liam Dillon test as well. To be honest with you, as I mentioned, Liam Dillon, a former British champion at super lightweight. Beat the unbeaten Mace Rueg last time out, as beating Kay's Ashfaq for the title. Only came unstuck against top domestic operators Reece Bellotti and Ryan Garner, so there's no shame in that. I just think stylistically, Liam Dillon is tailor-made for someone like Pierce O'Leary. Liam Dillon, very aggressive fighter, very one-dimensional fighter though. He come in very heavy on his feet, especially very heavy over that front foot as he comes in behind the high guard, won't really move his head, and not a big puncher. He's not an aggressive fighter that can kind of offset the movement and the rhythm and the speed of Pierce O'Leary. And yeah, I think he's tailor made for a big Pierce O'Leary KO here. When he's coming in on his, heavy on his feet, heavy over the front foot, he's gonna walk himself into something big. From Big Bang Pierce O'Leary, I'd say mid to late rounds, rounds 5 or 6 for O'Leary to get the win. I just don't think O'Leary, I don't think Dillon can put a dent in him. Doesn't have the power either to really put a dent in O'Leary. Yeah, and I think O'Leary, I don't think it's the best fighter Pierce O'Leary's faced. I think the likes of Kane Gardner, the likes of Havanes Martrosian, maybe even Darragh Foley are all better than Liam Dillon. That might sound very harsh, but I just think Pierce O'Leary is levels above Liam Dillon here, and he's going to show with an explosive knockout to get it done. And I'm not kind of disrespecting Liam Dillon. It's just I rate Pierce O'Leary that highly, and I think he can really be a player at 140. I really do. He's only young too. He's 25 years old. He's a young man, and as I say, so technically sharp and crisp and great to watch. His work is so clean, defensively, offensively. Power. heavy-handedness and the excellent lateral movement. So yeah, I really think he can mix it with world-class fighters at 140 pounds. I really do. I mentioned the potential Sean McComb fight, which would be an outstanding fight between O'Leary and McComb in Ireland. Hopefully that can get done next. It was signed according to McComb's party, as I said. McComb, of course, a quality operator in his own right. Long, rangy, awkward, really clever boxer, so slippery. Proved it against Arnold Barboza. Arnold Barboza was very, very lucky in that one. It was a robbery. There's no other way of putting it. It was a blatant robbery. That showed the level that Sean McComb was at, which is, he showed that at a higher level than Pierce O'Leary has so far. But Pierce O'Leary, very, very good fighter in his own right. There's also potential big fights against the likes of Adam AZIM or Dalton Smith. And I think Pierce O'Leary could absolutely mix it with those two. And it wouldn't surprise me to see Pierce O'Leary beat Adam Azim or beat Dalton Smith. I might catch a lot of flack for that, especially, as an Irishman. But, I'm not being biased. I really do think Pierce O'Leary is fantastic, a fantastic fighter. Of course, we're not talking about world titles at all just yet, but there is fascinating names like that. There's the likes of a Harlem Eubank, the likes of a Jack Catterall as well. That could be big fights for O'Leary down the line. But you know, I think I really think he can mix it at that level. I think he's good enough too. He's so well rounded and so good to watch. But yeah, he has to get past Liam Dillon first this Saturday night at Portman Road in Ipswich in East Anglia. Yeah, former British champion Liam Dillon will come to upset the odds here and win the EBU Super Lightweight European title and end the unbeaten streak of Pierce O'Leary. So yeah, that was just my very quick reaction preview. I beg your pardon to this weekend's European super lightweight title fight between Big Bang Pierce O'Leary putting his unbeaten record on the line against former Lonsdale title holder Liam Dillon at Portman Road. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to this fight? Do you think it's a close fight? Can Dillon upset the odds here and get it done? Am I being too harsh? And what do you think the ceiling is for Pierce O'Leary? So yeah, let us know what you think down below. Get involved in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not doing so already. And follow us on all social media. And until next time, take care.